Welcome to the TomorrowZone Catalyst Podcast. I'm your host, Deborah Reuben. Today's episode is part of our ongoing series called From Spark to Shift: How Smart Leaders Are Navigating AI Adoption. In each episode, we are talking with visionary leaders about their bold moves and real stories, shifting from AI talk to traction. Each of our guests is at a very different point in their AI journey, but all of them are finding cool ways to turn potential into progress. So if you're ready to step away from day to day and explore what's possible now and what's next, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. My guest today is Jake Cutler, fintech founder, futurist, and a bold force reimagining equipment finance experience. He has over 15 years of expertise spanning Europe and the US, and he brings deep insight into small business lending and innovation. He's the founder of Amplify and BizFi, two platforms transforming how vendors, brokers, and small businesses navigate the financing process. With a master's in digital innovation for fintech and a passion for streamlining complex systems, his work is a great example of discovery-driven thinking and human-centered design in action. So, Jake, I'm so excited to talk to you today. Welcome to the show.
It's amazing to be here today. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you for that very warm welcome. Very auspicious. Thank you so much, Deb.
So, Jake, I thought it'd be really fun to talk with you because not only are you in the equipment finance industry, but you're a fintech founder. And I thought it would be cool to get your forward-thinking insights and fresh ideas about AI adoption, because I know you're actively using it in so many different ways and constantly discovering new things. And I thought it'd be cool to just explore a little bit of what you're seeing, the impact of AI on the world of small business lending, but also as a part of the adventure of building a fintech business. So I would love to just start with a little bit of your story. What sparked your AI journey?
I think my AI journey has been like many people's, right? This innovation has come around that people didn't know what to expect. Some people attributed or associated it a little bit like Bitcoin, right? Like, hey, there's this thing that everyone expects to have a massive impact, but Bitcoin didn't have the impact people expected, at least not for many years. But AI has come along and been impactful, particularly for businesses big and small, in a very short time.
Absolutely. So when it comes to AI adoption, I know a lot of people kind of struggled with, like, how do you get started? Where did you start? And what did you learn from starting there?
I think as a small early stage fintech business, like many people out there, everyone's looking for the holy grail of AI, just that one product that is just going to be game changing and life changing. And I haven't found it yet. I think there's a lot of products out there that can be impactful, but what I found is execution is king. AI can guide you. It can give great advice. It's an amazing kind of field leveler because it's accessible to everyone. So everyone now has this guidance and something that can help them. I think initially AI came out and it was really impactful in like this content space, right? This email content space. But I feel like that's already in the past. I mean, it's still something we use on a daily basis, but we've gotten so used to it. It feels like that was a year ago. Like AI has come so far since then, and it can help us in so many different ways, like besides content. And there's a double-edged sword to the email content thing because now everyone's got it, and so everyone is slowly turning off their filter to their inbox that's just inundated with ChatGPT messages. And so I think AI is progressing really quickly to be more impactful.
I was just reading this morning somebody's post on just that very problem, like how AI has created this situation where we have an abundance of content. And so now what? How do you cut through the noise to find the real signals and the real meaning? And get beyond that, to really finding ways to use AI to add true value. I wanted to just kind of step back a little bit. Can you share a little bit about what it is that you're building with Amplify and BizFi for our listeners who might not know you? what is Amplify and what is BizFi and how do they relate?
BizFi is really our customer-facing brand where we're offering a turnkey lending platform. We offer equipment finance, term loans, lines of credit, working capital, and SBA. And people can access that through our platform. We have a lending marketplace. Behind the scenes, that is powered by Amplify. So Amplify is really our SaaS platform, our innovation brand, where we're building the interesting stuff that really helps us power that. And we also want to use that to leverage it to be more accessible to our partners.
When it comes to AI adoption, what was a shift in your thinking or leadership that really helped you to gain traction?
Biggest shift for me is not what AI can do for me, but what AI can do for the people that help me. And so distributing AI so that it is with all of the people that help me, because if I have a lot of people that are helping me, whether they're in back office or admin or supporting transactions, or doing development and building software products or designing them, they are all benefited from AI. And so, why hold back? Why keep it as something that I use to improve my content or to improve my strategy? And so if I can empower the people that I work with to do better, that's going to kind of compound in the ways it comes back to me, or at least that's the hope.
What is an example of how that has come back to benefit you? I love that shift in thinking. It's the first time I've heard it just so clearly from a leader on this topic. Rather than thinking about how can AI help me, how can AI help those who help me?
How can AI help the people that help me better and faster?
Yeah. I love
strategy.
that thinking. So could you give some examples of how that has kind of come to fruition for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, just as we were discussing, empowering your partners and people that are doing emails and salespeople to have better content, not necessarily on that high level outgoing marketing stream, which is helpful there as well. I also have back office support that helps me with strategy, and ChatGPT can help us on strategy. I often do one-to-one sessions where we're ideating together, but we're also ideating with ChatGPT, and that can really help you zone in on a strategy. Where I'm most interested to have AI kind of help my team is with development. But that and talk about vibe coding could be, a whole series of podcast sessions in itself. So I won't go too far into that. But just as it comes with advantages, it comes with a lot of complications that I think we haven't figured out yet. But it's changing so rapidly. It's just a matter of sitting back and waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun to watch because this space is advancing so fast. And I think it forces you to really keep an open mind too, because, I heard a lot of people saying at the beginning when ChatGPT was released into the wild back in 2022, a lot of folks were saying, this is the worst AI that you're going to use and it's only going to get better. And I think in a lot of ways that has happened as the models continue to evolve, as the capabilities continue to evolve, and we're finding new amazing ways to apply it to real work. I want to just double click a little bit on that vibe coding topic. I don't want to totally go down the rabbit hole, but many of our listeners may not know what that is, first of all. And second, I'm just kind of curious a little bit of your experience with it. So could you just kind of explain simply what that means, vibe coding, but then also what are you starting to see with that?
Vibe coding, for anyone who's not familiar, is an amazing opportunity where AI can actually generate code for you. Some of the things I've found along the way is that even as someone who's not a developer, you're still going to be limited in what you can do. You can't just sit down with a GPT and have it generate a bunch of code and know what to do with it. And that's where there's some limitations that I think we'll kind of figure out those wrinkles with a bit of time. And so a year from now, is there going to be the ability just to create and code products on your own? Potentially. We don't know how quickly it will move to that space. One thing I did notice along the way is the advertising from the product Figma. And if you're not from kind of the design and building space, maybe you're less familiar with Figma. If you do know designing products, Figma is really just a benchmark product out there for designing UI and what products look like. But I noticed that the CEO of that company had changed his strategy. And this is just going back a couple months, where he was like, now everyone's a designer. You don't need a team. You don't need to hire someone who can design and create products for you. You can just get on Figma and pay for the right seats and kind of tell it what you want, and it can design stuff for you. And so that shift in the strategy of the CEO and how he wanted to reach out to his client base, I think has parallels to what the opportunities are for people that use it. So vibe coding is simply, being able to generate code from the GPTs that has real world implications.
Yeah, and basically it's, through natural English language conversation generating code, which, I started in this industry as an application developer, so I'm familiar with coding and design of applications and what happens in the back end.
I understand some of the applications you built 20 years ago are still in action. Is that correct?
I'm not sure, but last I heard there is one that just keeps being upgraded. Design, there's a lot to say about the importance of design that stands the test of time. And I think, but the thing that's interesting about the vibe coding opportunity is you think about in the past how long it took to go from idea or concept to prototype to a product that's actually adding value. That timeline has been compressed to almost instant. And now it's like, how can you go from idea to concept in almost near real time? That's the opportunity that you're talking about.
Yeah, so when you ask questions about AI adoption and where things are and where things headed, I think that's the most kind of prescient topic to myself, is that there's opportunity to move faster than ever before. But the other end of that sword, the thing that keeps me up at night, is that everyone else has that ability now as well.
And then there's also the flip side, and this is actually a trend I've been watching and to see what happens, and that's the you alluded to this in your comments earlier, but you still have to understand why it's generating what it is. If you're having AI generate code, you still need to understand it. And so like the whole opportunity now that's growing up is for people to come in and kind of clean up what AI is creating so fast, so that it's safe, so that it's efficient, and there's the QA end of it. And so like we can create really, really, really fast, but then how do we make it durable, sustainable, maintainable, upgradable, scalable long term?
I have a slightly different take on that than yourself.
I'd love to hear it.
I think if we just hold our breath and sit back, a product will come out to do that for us before long. I really think at the moment,
I think a lot of people are hoping that happens.
There's so many new products coming out on a daily basis that are focused on these spaces, right? There's new AI. Everyone's trying to build AI into their systems and the workflows, and there's new products coming out daily. When you talk about vibe coding, there's new products coming out daily. And at some point, a product will come along that will help with the refactoring. At the moment, with vibe coding, generating code is not the hard part. It's getting it implemented and getting it refactored into your existing products. And that's where you have a bottleneck. But the question is, how long is it before that gets figured out? And so that could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months, or maybe it's one of those things that ends up surprising us and takes years and never gets there. We just don't know 100% today. But my assumption is that a product that can smooth over those wrinkles will be here sooner than later.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. There's so many possibilities. So what have you learned in your adventures with AI that others need to hear, especially about either resistance or unexpected wins, especially as you're, thinking about how you want to distribute AI capability across your team and partners?
We're still a work in progress. So AI provides a lot of opportunity for us. It can help us speed up. There's still, the sandbags that hold you back that you're talking about a bit, right? Like we can generate code, but there's only so much time for the team to be able to implement it. And so we have a bottleneck we can focus on, which is fascinating. But we're still working overall to improve the process to our clients. And we want them to have a great experience applying for finance. We want to give them great customer service. And some of that supersedes AI. AI can improve processes, but ultimately you have to have your eye on the prize. You have to know that you have to be here to treat your clients well, and you have to treat them well. And I think it comes back to some of the stuff that you always discussed and highlighted at TomorrowZone and some of your amazing events for the Young Conference, right? Where the combination of technology and human touch in the right ways can be one of the more impactful experiences. And I think that holds true and is going to continue to hold true no matter how powerful AI gets.
That's the one through line that I've seen across my whole career in technology and innovation. You cannot forget the human experience, and it doesn't matter what the tech is. What's after AI, I don't know, but humans are still going to be involved, so we can't forget that.
AI, as it is, as much as we're discussing it, and it has a lot of opportunities, it makes a lot of mistakes, and the rumination issues continue and can be devastating. We're not in a spot where we can rely on these bots, and even with the code, right? And that's the reason why there's such a bottleneck with developers, because you could generate the code and think, oh, this is amazing, and it could not be what GPTs told you that it was. So there's still a tremendous amount of work to be done.
Yeah, well, and I think that we have to continually apply wisdom as we're using these tools. We can move so fast, but just because we can do something, should we? And that's where humans need to stay involved. So I'm curious, Jake, I know you're a future enthusiast like me. How are you thinking about what's next with AI for your team, clients, partners, or even the industry at large? What are you seeing on the horizon?
That's a tough question, actually. I think a lot of this is so new and is advanced so quickly. I'm trying to embrace the moment. I think this is a really sweet time to be in business, whether you're in a big business or a smaller business like us. I think it's definitely a really interesting time for small early stage startups that can be empowered by AI. Theoretically, there's an opportunity to move faster than ever before. For bigger companies, you can see how their product ideation is moving faster than ever. And from my standpoint, we want to be able to keep up. So I'm trying to embrace the moment, and because what comes next, I think big things are coming, but they're not here yet. And so let's wait and see how that pans out.
What have you found that to help you stay in the moment? Because it can be really easy to get swept up in the hype.
What I've found is running businesses, whether you have guidance from ChatGPT or not, it is really difficult. Business is complicated. Any founder that you speak to is swamped, is busy, can barely keep up with it. And so having strategies and also products, which is where there's possibly a little bit of a combination of AI for strategy and how it can help you with the products, not just the ones that you're building, but the ones that you use to stay organized and stay on top of your clients. And that's where I think you need to be grounded in all that you're doing, right? AI can only take you so far. Execution is king. So it can give you a strategy, but you're the one that needs to keep your business on the rails, your client relationships, and your strategy with whatever you're driving forward.
You mentioned products that you use to help you stay on top of those things. Like, what are some examples of your go-tos? I love to ask, like, what's your favorite app these days and why?
Well, this might be a boring answer. I think ChatGPT just remains to be king. I mean, it's just so powerful. You can drop screenshots in it. You can connect it to other products. You can hand it out to your team. It can work with emails. It can work with content. It's just so versatile. In the background, we're really working with project management solutions like Notion, like ClickUp. ClickUp, if people aren't familiar with it,
we're big ClickUp users here.
They seem like they've made tremendous changes recently, and they've got AI baked into it so that it's an easier product to use, which was one of its complications. And I think, again, those are just opportunities for businesses of all sizes to be more organized and stay more focused.
Yeah. And I think that the other cool thing about some of these tools is it allows you to think differently about how you do business.
Yeah.
You're not constrained by the tools anymore. They actually are an enabler now.
And potentially really affordable. I think big enterprise businesses still have more expensive tools that they can use, but I'm interested to see if some of the smaller products with the benefit AI can't come along and do things just as powerful, or if not more powerful. And that's one of the things I would watch for looking to the future. What are those new products that are going to come along that are going to give us a better experience?
Absolutely. Okay, so this conversation went really fast, but we're to the lightning round part. I have just a few questions prepared for you. So these are just short, quick responses. So fill in the blank. AI is only as powerful as blank.
AI is only as powerful as the user. Execution is king.
Awesome. What is one word that describes your AI journey?
Winding.
Oh, wow. Okay. I need to hear more words. What do you mean by that?
Sure. Again, I think AI. I think AI is really hit or miss, and maybe people have had this experience with emails, right? Every once in a while, you'll ask, like, "Hey, I'm trying to contact this person. This is my strategy. This is what I want to tell them." And GPT will just give you this message that you think this is a home run. But there's other days it gives you a message that's offbeat, and sometimes I feel like once it's offbeat, like you can't get it back on track. You just kind of move the message left and right. And I feel like that experience with email as an example, I feel like that can happen a lot. It can happen with code. Every once in a while, it'll generate code and you're like, wow, this is great. But then the next day it generates stuff that never works. And you end up in like the rabbit hole. And the AI rabbit hole is what makes for just a really winding journey. It doesn't always work. It's not always effective and it doesn't always work. And you have to kind of be able to sit back and reset.
Yeah, I've found that as well. What do you wish someone had told you at the beginning of this journey?
I think if someone could have magically given me the hindsight, I think one of the key things about AI is there's so many products, and at the moment we're all trying to use a myriad of them and like cobble them together into the magic product. And I think we've all tried, or most people, I imagine, have tried a number of products. And if someone could have gone back and said, "Hey, these are the good ones," forget those ones and like focus on these. Had I known that sooner and been able to focus on those things, I think that would have been super helpful.
Yeah, little curation goes a long way. Well, Jake, it's been so fun catching up with you. Thank you for joining me on the show and sharing a bit about your adventures.
It's great to see you. Thank you so much, Deb, and it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
To our listeners, I hope you took away some awesome wisdom nuggets from that conversation. I know I did. As always, we love it if you like and subscribe, share the episode with a friend. Thank you again for tuning in. And until next time, stay curious and choose to make awesome happen.